Hey Capricorn Crosswatchers, welcome to your September general reading. I'm sorry guys, I know the videos are kind of late getting out this month, but my phone keeps overheating. I went to go get a new one and it didn't happen, so I have to wait for something to be mailed to me. So thank you for being patient, those of you waiting for private readings, those of you waiting for the videos. A little slow right now getting them out because of technical issues, but thank you for your patience. We're going to connect and see what's happening here for those of you cross-watching on Capricorn. Keep in mind this is done in the spirit of high vibration to bring about positive benefits for all involved, positive benefits for Capricorn. We're not hating on anybody here. We're not spying. We're not spreading any kind of negativity. That's not what we do here on this channel. But let's see what's coming up for those of you cross-watching about a Capricorn. All right, my dears. So we're going to go ahead and lay out the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're starting off with Knight of Wands, okay? This is very, very fast-moving energy, okay? So some of you could be dealing with someone where the energy is moving very, very fast, or things are picking up a lot quicker than you had anticipated. It could also be, if it's an existing relationship, it could be resurgence of passion, like getting the fire back in a relationship. If it's a new connection, somebody you met and you're feeling very drawn to them, Knight of Wands can sometimes indicate that the connection is mostly physical. I sometimes joke about Knight of Wands and I say, you know, he's here for a good time, not for a long time. And that can be the case sometime with Knight of Wands. It could be something short-lived, or I see Knight of Wands come up a lot in readings when we're dealing with a person who just kind of comes and goes, like forever. And those of you who are dealing with that situation, you know, like you'll be like, oh, I've known this person for 7 years and we're together and we're not together. We're together, we're not together. And it's never going to change, unfortunately. There are exceptions to the rule. So maybe I shouldn't say it's never, not all across the board, but I will say the majority of the time, that's not going to change, you know, because this is someone who just kind of does that, right? The connection might be mostly physical, or it could be somebody who's a little bit impulsive. Some of you could be dealing with a fire sign, or you could be dealing with a fire sign that might be a little bit younger than you. It's going to apply in different ways to different ones of you. As we go through the reading and as we turn over the different cards and we have a better idea of the whole kind of thing together, we'll know more what Spirit's trying to tell us here with this Knight of Wands. But, you know, this is going to be very fast-moving, very passionate kind of energy. And Knight of Wands can at times come up in a time when, like, someone needs to act. Like, there's a really short window of time. So if you are dealing with a Capricorn who's made some kind of offer to you in some way, or if they've been pursuing you for a while, this could mean that if you don't act, then the opportunity will be gone. It could mean sometimes that there needs to be action taken, an ultimatum. I see it sometimes come up as like an ultimatum, kind of like it's now or never kind of energy. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. You know, you should never do anything you're not ready to do. But you might be dealing with a kind of a feisty energy here, which is interesting because so far I've done 3 other readings for 3 other signs, and the energy this month going into September seems to be feisty. So I don't know what's going on with the fall. I think a lot of it was with that last full moon that we had, the Sagittarius full moon, and then the new moon in Aquarius. I think there's a lot happening with the overall collective consciousness where people are just kind of getting into this vibe or this energy like life is short. Like, what do I want? I need to go get it, right? And it's going to be different for different people. Some people, they're acting out in their love life or romantic life. And I would definitely say that in September, so far from what I've read, a lot of people seem to be in that feisty, hurried kind of energy. But yeah, some of you may be dealing with some kind of an ultimatum, right? It might be like, you know, make up your mind, you know, do you want to give me a chance or not. They might not be waiting around a long time for you to decide if you're in a situation like that. The next card here is we have the Wheel. And it just nail hit the head. Not the nail hit the head. I hope nobody got hit in the head with a nail. That would be terrible. It's been a long day. Cranky from the cell phone store. I'm sorry, guys. Let me get my words in order here. It hit the nail on the head for me to see the Wheel of Fortune kind of coming up here for you guys after the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands, like I said, it's a hurried energy, and some of you may be having to make a decision. Like, do you want to give this person a chance? Do you want to reconcile with them? Do you want to invest in the relationship, or do you want to part ways? There's some kind of a decision, because your next card here is the Wheel. And the Wheel is a major arcana card. And those of you who watch my videos regularly, I'm sorry if you get tired of hearing me explain this, but the major arcana cards come up when you're at a really big crossroads in your life. But when I see major arcana cards come up between two people, or in any kind of a relationship type of situation, just any type of relationship where there's two people involved that I'm looking into a situation or scenario, the major arcana, for me as a reader, this isn't like a hard rule in tarot, this is the way I read, but for me, when the major arcana comes up, it tells me that you all have a contract. You have a reason why you met. There's a past life connection, and you all have an agreement of something you're going to do together in this life. Okay? Something you're going to do together in this life. So it's this energy of basically with the Wheel, it's telling us what your contract is. And the Wheel is all about getting moving, right? The Wheel is about movement, forward movement, right? And it's really about, it can sometimes signify even like the ups and downs in your life, that things change. The wheel is always turning, and sometimes it's on a high cycle, sometimes it's on a low cycle. But I do feel, Crosswatcher, a lot of you might be dealing with a Capricorn that maybe like you just were like, you weren't even looking for a relationship, or you weren't looking to be with somebody, but then like you connected with this person, and now you're like, okay, well, do I want to get back out there again? Do I want to give this a chance? Or it could be vice versa. You know, Capricorn may be dealing with the energy. Sometimes with the general readings, the energies flip. You know, that happens. But this is a connection here, or it could be mutual. Both of you could be in that situation. But there's a short window of time here to make this happen. That's what this is telling me. You're going to do this, or you're not going to do this. This is a time to move forward or not move forward. And this is about action. This isn't about agreeing about something. This isn't about getting on the same page. It's just, do you want to give this a chance or not? Do you want to see where this goes or not? And if you don't take that opportunity, it may not be here for very long. The next card here is Six of Wands. Now, I need to say something here. So far, you've got two wands coming up. And this is something that you all are going to have to take into consideration. And again, this is a general reading. You may need a private reading. But you have a lot of the wands coming up in the readings. And sometimes a lot of tarot readers will tell you the wand cards in a reading can mean mostly like the physical connection, like, you know, sex. It's sometimes seen as like the wand cards are seen as like phallic symbols. So it's a whole thing here where this connection might be very, very, very physical. Okay, I don't see any cups so far. I don't see, I mean, we'll see what comes up, if it's gonna transition from, you know, like a Knight of Wands to a Knight of Cups or an Ace of Cups or something. But so far you've got Wands. So this is very fast, very heated, maybe even impulsive kind of energy. And it may be mostly a physical connection. I want to explain something to you because I do feel some of you are dealing with a Capricorn that might be pulling you away from an existing relationship, Crosswatcher. And so that could be like you're feeling very connected to this person, But sometimes we have soul attractions, which are very, very physical, even though we might not be like physically attracted to them, or they're not our physical type. Sometimes there's a soul attraction. And that's where it gets tricky. It could be a significant soulmate, somebody that you're meant to be with, or it could just be that you all are connecting, like there's a strong pull in that physical way because there's something karmic. So some of you may be feeling tempted away from an existing relationship because of something karmic, or vice versa. But you know, the wands can be very, very passionate energy. It could also indicate that, and again, the roles can be reversed here, where one of you or you may be in the energy of like you have other people pursuing you, and Six of Wands could be winning that competition, you know, knocking the competition out of the way, you know, coming in and swooping in and get the prize. And that's the way I feel, because we have Knight of Wands as your first card, and it's going from Knight of Wands to Six of Wands. So it does feel to me there might be some kind of sense of like a challenge, right? You know, somebody is pursuing, somebody's in like hot pursuit here. And the motivating factors could be below the belt for some of you. So that is something for you to think about. That is something for you to consider. Again, these are general readings, guys. Please don't take them as like law or freak out. If you're married to a Capricorn, don't watch the video and then get upset and accuse them of cheating or chasing after a karmic person. It might not apply to you, okay? Or it might not apply to your partner. They're general readings. You know what resonates and what doesn't. So I just want to put that out there. I want to remind you guys, I know sometimes people get really carried away with the videos. So just let's look at this with balance and don't freak out and don't panic. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. But, you know, these are the different ways in which the energies may be. Oh, look, another wands. You got so many wands. You got so many wands. Okay, so 10 of Wands is coming up. And so this is completion of something. This is completion of something. This is being able to lay a burden down, being able to finish a task. Crosswatcher, I feel some of you, and I don't know why this is, I feel like the Knight of Wands, even though I know Capricorn is not a fire sign, I feel the Knight of Wands is Capricorn here in this situation. And I feel those of you who are cross-watching are feeling very, very, very connected to a Capricorn. When 10 of Wands comes up, this makes me feel like there's a lot of stress in a situation, especially in this instance. In this case, I'm feeling the energy of stress or worry. And so some of you might feel like this person seems to only want physical connection, but I feel like what this is saying, there's a lot of stress, and this person may be de-stressing through that physical connection. And for some of you, you may not like that. Okay, some of you may be all for it. You're like, oh, sounds good to me. And some of you are like, you're not for it. But I do feel like you're going to have to decide if you're going to be able to keep up with that. Because I feel like this person is really, really in that element right now. The person that you're watching for. Again, they're general readings, so they're going to be different for different ones of you. But I feel like you might be dealing with someone who, like, this is going to be very important for them. Very important for them. So if you're not looking for the physical intimacy or the physical connection, or if that's not your thing, or if you're just, you want to express things in other ways, in this instance at this time, I feel like a lot of you are dealing with a Capricorn that, like, this is the vibration that they're on. This is where they're at, okay? Like, they're just kind of in hot pursuit. And some of you may feel like, man, like, is that all you want from me? But the 10 of Wands could also indicate they have a lot of stress. So they might also just be like, I don't know. It's a difficult situation. It's a difficult energy. I can't say all across the board. If it's like, oh, it's harmless, or oh no, this is a problem, it's going to be different for different people. But it just makes me feel like A lot of you may be dealing with someone where you feel like, is that all you care about? Also keep in mind, guys, like I'm not about being negative on any of the signs. Capricorn is associated in the tarot with the devil card. It doesn't mean that they're the devil. It doesn't mean that. But the devil is a representation of like the physical needs and the ego and like everything on earth. So everything in the physical body, you know, everything in the physical realm, you know, and Capricorn is gonna be in that realm. Capricorn is gonna be about, you know, stature and success and sex and all of those physical things. So you may be dealing with a Capricorn who's like super in that energy right now. So if you're somebody who's on more of a spiritual path, you have to realize this is kind of the energy that they're in, and you're not going to be able to pull them out of it, you know, or you're not going to be able to like convert them in some way. And we all have, I don't care how spiritual you are, we all have ranges and we all have times, and there's times that we can't be 100% in the spiritual realm. We're in physical bodies and we have to have periods of physicality too. And so I feel like your Capricorn may be in that cycle right now. Your next one here is Three of Pentacles. So this feels to me like it's something starting out really hot and heavy, or it's somebody who seems to be really kind of, like I said, in that passion energy. But Three of Pentacles is saying that at some point there's a realization where there's a foundation here. This is something that can become a relationship. This is like you all have enough in common, or you agree about enough of the same things, or you have enough of the same priorities where you can build a home or you can build a relationship together. And so for me, Three of Pentacles is like a card that says, I haven't decided yet, I haven't made up my mind yet, but there's a lot of good stuff here and I want to explore it and I want to see what happens, because this seems to be worth my time. This seems to be worth my while. So I feel like a lot of you are dealing with someone who is coming in really hot and really heavy. They may not be catching feelings, but they may at some point say, hey, you know what? Like, this is a good person. Like, I want to explore this. And it could be that they're just not in an emotional place, right? It could be that they're looking at things very logically. They may have gotten really into somebody in the past and had their heart ripped out. So maybe when they're thinking about long-term relationships, they're like, well, let me use my brain. Let me not go with my heart because my heart betrayed me. And they might be looking at it as, okay, this person seems to like be a good person or be on the same page as me. So we don't see any cups in here. We don't see like big romantic energies, but we see passion and we see like possibility of like a good foundation. And honestly, that might be better. That might be better than the cups sometimes, right? We all know what happens. Sometimes we get our heart really involved, but you know, there's just not enough to be on the same page, or the, you know, passion dies out. So this might not be a bad mix, okay? So that's something for you all to consider. I also feel with the Three of Pentacles, your Capricorn might be very, very focused on work, and that might be why they're so stressed out. They're trying to build up the ladder or climb up the ladder, and you know, they want to see that you're doing the same. You know, that's one thing about Capricorn. They want to be with someone who has drive, who has goals, who's doing something. So it might feel to you, those of you who are dating this person or in a relationship with this person, you might just kind of feel like all they're doing is like working, and when they're not working, when they're with you, they might just want to jump into bed, and you might be like, well, I want to do this or I want to do that. And it could be the stress factor, or it could just be they have a very high drive right now. But that's what you're dealing with, Crosswatcher. At least some of you are. This is not going to apply to everybody. But lately, a lot of the videos have seemed to be resonating with a lot of people. So I'm you know, if that's the case, I hope it's helpful to you. Be sure to watch your love forecast for your sign for September. The September love readings are already up. And then if you need a private reading, you can click on the Calendly link in the description of the video and you can schedule a private reading with me there. And you guys, please, please, please keep in mind, my dears, that I do the weekly forecasts, which are not about love and they're not about cross-watching. I do the love readings and I do the cross-watcher videos because I know they're helpful to a lot of you and a lot of you want to hear it. But I do the weekly forecasts because I want you all to also consider and think about your journey. I want you to have videos that are just for you, about your career path, your spirituality, your connection with friends and family. You know, we get so caught up in love sometimes that we forget about everything else in life. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to forget about yourselves. So watch the weekly forecasts. They're up there every single week. The ones for the first week of September hopefully are going to be up by Saturday night. I'm doing my best with this phone overheating on me. I'm wishing you the best. I hope that you all have a fabulous September, and I hope that you watch the weekly videos and follow the card of the day on the social media. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Take care.